Welcome back to the program. Nigeria's health sector has had its share of challenges, most glaring lack of funds and inadequate infrastructure. But there are many other problems facing the sector, like detecting substandard medicine formulations, as well as regulating the sale of prescription drugs. Our correspondent, Mary Alale Yusuf, takes a look at NAFDAC's role in getting the job done.
For a long time, agencies that have the oversight of drugs and controlled substances in Nigeria have fought an uphill task of policing the food and drugs market. Though substandard medications are made all over the world, Sub-Saharan Africa contributes 42% of the reports received by the World Health Organization and 21% each from the Americas and Europe.
All therapeutic categories are affected. All price ranges, not just expensive medicines, but also very low-cost medicines.
According to statistics from the National Center for Biotechnology Information, NCBI, between November 2008 and February 2009, 84 Nigerian children died from acute kidney failure brought on by the industrial solvent diethylene glycol in the teething syrup, popularly known as My Pikin, before it was taken off the shelves. The Director General of NAFDAC believes that increased funding and solving logistical problems will help with some of these challenges, including the formulation of dangerous compositions. She was speaking with zonal and state coordinators as well as heads of ports and borders.
We need a video conferencing system that will reduce our traveling back and forth from Abuja to Lagos. In so doing, we may save nothing less than 200 million a year.
Programs against falsified medicines, abused drugs, and narcotics form part of the plan to strengthen the health sector.
Thousands of pharmacists all over the country that we're going to use to do education on how not to abuse drugs and to do a lot of monitoring of substandard and falsified medicines, narcotics, and so on.
Apart from patrolling ports and borders for inspection, the NAFDAC DG believes enlightenment campaigns at the grassroots will be a major plus against the drug situation. Mary Alale Yusuf, Channels Television News.
Refugee children in Tanzania are facing the challenge of getting an education, and agencies say they are unable to provide proper schools as a result of a funding shortfall. Students in camps have been forced to attend classes out of the open and without enough teachers or learning materials. Tanzania hosts over 280,000 refugees and asylum seekers, mostly from the Democratic Republic of Congo and Burundi.
Furaha Primary School in Nduta Camp, located in Tanzania's northwestern Kigoma district, hosts about 200 students, many of whom are refugees from Burundi. Classes are held out in the open where benches and blackboards are few, so teachers have to improvise with whatever they can to hold lessons. There are only 193 permanent classrooms for about 9,600 children in 3 camps.
We need more money. Construction of the classroom pretty much translates to we need money to put the classrooms there.
According to ONYANGO, it costs about $12,000 to build a classroom. For every 3 boys who attend, there is just 1 girl. And with little food to eat at home, many pupils often struggle to concentrate in class. Furaha is one of the 9 primary schools at Nduta Camp, which provides education for about 75% of primary school children who attend classes in the refugee camps in Tanzania.
Some students drop out because of the situation at home. Maybe their parents are not able to support them, so they decide to leave school and try to earn an income. Some are also forced to stop learning when they become pregnant.
Plans are in place to move students at Nduta Camp to new mud brick buildings with 9 classrooms, a staff room, a head teacher's office, and latrines.
The International Committee of the Red Cross has issued a warning about living conditions of people displaced by violence in the Central African Republic. The organization says the situation in the country is rapidly deteriorating, with half of the population in dire need of humanitarian support. Many of the displaced have no access to food, shelter, or sanitation. Attacks on humanitarian workers in the Central African Republic have greatly affected the delivery of essential services. Last year, 13 Red Cross workers were killed in the line of duty. Medical authorities in Uganda, in the meantime, have warned that blood transfusion supplies in the country are critically low, and the shortage is putting several patients' lives at risk. The blood bank facility in the capital, Kampala, is reportedly to be practically empty, with only about 100 units of blood available, rather than the 1,000+ units required every day. The head of the Ugandan Medical Association, Dr. Mukuzi Mutereza, says that the hospitals were having to cancel operations and that lives were being put at risk. The State Minister for Health, Sarah Opendi, said extra money had been requested to get the blood transfusion back on track, but that it was up to people throughout the country to become blood donors. And let's move on to some other stories now. A new Cairo-based sportswear clothing brand is set to be the first in the region to bring in new technology which allows clothes to resist liquids, liquid stains, and even odor. A group of Egyptian petroleum engineers has developed a liquid-resistant fabric for sportswear they hope will provide a low-cost alternative to expensive imported equivalents.
Since the devaluation of the Egyptian pound in 2016, imported sportswear has become hard to afford for many Egyptians. But now, El Sam Rashwan says his locally produced fabric will offer an affordable and stylish alternative to sportswear from overseas.
We found that sports in general has become a lifestyle. Everyone is making an effort to incorporate sports into their day. So why don't we start making a brand that is Egyptian, elegant, and has good designs?
The company, Sigma, promises low-priced, durable and waterproof products. The smart material used in Sigma apparel was inspired by international sportswear brands that have already started using hydrophobic materials. Sigma sportswear costs £200 to £400, and that's around $11 to $22, which is relatively cheap compared to imported items. The Egyptian pound lost roughly half its value since the devaluation, and prices of many imported goods have shot up accordingly, putting them way beyond the reach of most people in Egypt, where the minimum wage is £1,200, and that's roughly $67 a month. Hydrophobic fabric repels water and heavy oils, making them attractive to use in sportswear. The company is set to be the first in the region to locally produce such fabrics.
Even before you look at the design or the t-shirt, these benefits will really change the way you think. You're not going to buy this shirt and only wear it once. This t-shirt has supernatural traits because it is waterproof and is immune to all these different things. The only thing left is for the t-shirt to fly and take you to work.
The local sports brand has already launched 2 collections in 2017 and is planning to launch 5 new products in 2018.
That's Network Africa. Thank you so much for watching. I'm Joke Rogers.